Hi everyone, it's Janette here from Enthusiastic Gardener. Welcome back again. Hi everyone, it's Janette here again from Enthusiastic Gardener, and I'm round the shady corner of my garden today because, as you can see, and as I mentioned in my video tour, this area here is all getting rather congested. I've got rather too many plants in. So what I need to do is to go through and just move a few things. Now obviously I need to bear in mind that they do need to stay in the shade, these plants, so I can't just move them out into a different part of the garden because most of the other parts of the garden all do get sun. So I have a plan. Do not fear, I have a plan. And what I'm going to do is start with this beautiful Calla Lily. And I'm going to move this Calla Lily because, as you can see, when I planted it, I didn't realise how big and luscious it gets. It has furls and furls of new leaves. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to dig that up because I also was given 2 more Calla Lilies from my new gardening friend Ron. He gave me some. He dug them up the night before, so they had been out of the ground for 24 hours by the time I got them, so I just planted them quickly anywhere just to get them in the ground, but they're not in the right place either. So I have a solution. I'm going to dig the 3 lots of Calla Lilies up and I will show you what I'm going to do with them. So I have this lovely new pot, and this is where I'm going to move the Calla Lilies to, because Calla Lilies do very, very well in a pot anyway. In fact, sometimes they're happier in a pot than they are in the ground. So let's get on and plant them. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some old plant pots here, and this is for 2 good reasons. Actually, it's for 3 good reasons. The first reason is because I am recycling the plastic. The second reason is it's going to save me needing so much soil, and the third reason is that it will be good for the drainage. So as you can see, I'm just putting those pots there. So I have some soil, and this was from a bag of soil. So it's all new soil. No. So I have the soil to the depth of the base of this, and I'm just going to put it in here. They're beautiful, as you can see. Look at that lovely flower. So I'm just amalgamating 3 of them really. I'll put some soil down here. Now Calla Lilies are grown from rhizomes, so they're not exactly bulbs, but they're very similar, or corms or rhizomes. And we are kind of, I would say, equivalent to a US zone 8. So 1 would be the coldest and 12 would be the hottest. And if you're in a zone 8, then they're okay to leave out over the winter. If you're anywhere colder, I would say between 1 and 5, then you probably would need to bring them in and store them inside over the winter. You would dig them up out of the landscape and you would take them inside and you would store them in your basement or in your garage or somewhere where it's nice and cold and dark, but protected from frost. Frost is the enemy. But because I'm in the equivalent of a zone 8, I think I'm okay. You can see these ones I've got are very floppy, so what I'm going to do, once I've planted them, I'm going to cut them down. Now this bit here, which you would think is a flower, it's not actually a flower. It's not a blossom, it's what they call a spathe, and it's a highly developed leaf which has changed in colour. What I'm going to do now is, there's quite a lot of leaves that were got broken and busted as in transport. So I'm just going to get rid of those give it a little clean up. Quite a few of them need just chopping off because they are only going to wilt, and will rejuvenate all this beautiful plant, and it will grow again, but these are not going to do anything. So unfortunately they have to go. It looks a bit drastic, but it's fine. Oops, chopped off this blossom by mistake. And it will be all the better for it. In fact, it will do it good. Unfortunately, it was just bent over like that, so there's no point. But what we are left with, everything now is very, very lovely and healthy. Have a little bit of fertiliser, which I'm going to sprinkle in and just scratch into the soil on the top. Fingers crossed, I will look after it. I'm going to water it in now so that the soil can settle. Let's do that next. So there we are, and I think you'll agree it actually does look really lovely. Now, as I mentioned, we have some questions and answers, and the first one actually relates to Fatsia japonica. I'm getting attacked by this tropical plant. And the question is from Anne, who lives in Romford in Essex, not too far from here. And she has a very large Fatsia bush, but she's grown it into a very large shrub. That her leaves all appear to be getting yellow. Well, there are quite a few reasons why this could be, and it's not really that straightforward to answer, because it could be to do with underwatering, it could be to do with overwatering, and it could be to do with being in too much sunshine. It also could be to do with the soil conditions. It could be too alkaline, so you may need to enrich your soil with some iron, such as blood, fish and bone meal, or some sort of feed. So it is unfortunately very difficult to diagnose. If you have been watering it a lot, maybe hold back on that. If you haven't been watering it a lot, maybe give it a bit more water, maybe give it a feed. So unfortunately it's not that straightforward a quick answer, especially without being able to see it, I'm afraid. And the next question I had is from Gemma. And Gemma is a friend of mine, and she's just new to gardening, and she's very keen now to get going, and she's started getting pots, and she's put honeysuckles and clematis and things like that in her garden. And she has a shade area, and she was asking what sort of plants would be good for shade. Well, Gemma, there are loads of good plants for shade, to be honest. In fact, this area to the right of me is complete shade, and whereas I originally thought what's going to grow there, I wish that I had more shade areas, to be honest, because there's so much you can have. So obviously you could have these, the Fatsia japonica. You could have ferns. Ferns are fabulous for the shade. You can have lilies. Lobelia grow very well in shade, and also so do busy lizzies. They grow well in the shade. Heucheras. Heucheras are my new #1 favourite plant, and they come in fantastic colours. I'm showing some colours here for you. The thing with a shaded area is to try to get some colour, because you might tend to end up with lots of green, just plain green. So a lovely way of getting some colour was with caladiums. They are beautiful, and you can get them in all different colours. You can also get coleus. Coleus are lovely, and they can grow really big or you can pinch them out the middles and keep them to more controllable size, but they are fabulous colours, all different varieties. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I'm Janette, I'm the Enthusiastic Gardener. I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope it inspires you to get out into your gardens. We've been so lucky with the weather. It's very cloudy and overcast today, but we've had such lovely weather during this lockdown. Thank goodness for that. Please subscribe to my channel. Please check me out on Facebook at The Enthusiastic Gardener. Please send me your photos for the monthly Subscriber Sunday videos. And if anybody would like to share their garden, share stories, tips, anything, just let me know, send me a message. And thanks for joining me, and I will see you again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.